Hello YouTube, this is Brian Eslick here from howtoautomotive.com. Today I'm going to bring you a common failure on BMWs, a common coolant leak. We're going to start by pressure testing this BMW. So I'm going to take my tool here and put it on the radiator bottle, fill it up with water of course, and I'm going to pump a little pressure into it and we'll find the leak. So I can hear the leak coming from underneath this air boot here, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Okay, so what we do is we lift this little clip up, we pry it up with a little pick or a screwdriver, whatever you want to use. And then once it's up, then you just pull, just give it a little wiggle, and pull it straight out. That's it. Now for the next one, I'm going to use a die grinder and cut the actual metal clamp off. The reason why is because this nipple that this hose is on breaks very easily, and then you'll have to replace the entire upper hose. So I'm going to use a die grinder to cut this off, and then pull it, and then maybe use a razor blade to cut the hose and then pull it off. So my die grinder bit is really worn out and small, so I was able to get it in there and cut the clamp, as you see. But if you can't do that or are not comfortable with that, you can just take the air box out of the way, and then you'll have plenty of room to get to it. And that's only held in with a couple 10mm bolts, and it'll lift up, and you'll have to unhook the clamp for the boot for the mass airflow sensor, and then the whole air box will come out of it. So with a razor blade, I made a little slit in the hose, and it comes off really easy. You really don't want to pry on this nipple at all. You can avoid it. It'll break off pretty easily. Now the rest of the hose is just held in with these little pop clips, and you can just pop them out like so. And now the hose is completely free, and as you can see, it broke in half as I was pulling it out. There's the other half. There's our failure. So we'll replace this hose, and I'll show you how to bleed the cooling system out. Okay, after routing the hose back in the position where it came out of, all we do is take this end and put it on the nipple or the recovered bottle and give it a push and pop the clip down, and give it a little tug to make sure that it's locked and secure. You can also, if it comes with the clip already down, you can also just leave it down and push it. It'll flare open and it'll lock into place too. Next, we're going to put the nipple on the radiator, upper radiator hose, and use a new clamp. Okay, after getting both ends secure, the last step is to snap the hoses back into the original clamps that it came with, and just push it in like that. Now the upper hose is done and installed. Now we're going to bleed the system, fill it up with coolant and bleed the system. So now we're going to fill this up with coolant, but first we need to take out the bleeder screw here on top of the coolant bottle. So you want to take that out with a flathead screwdriver. This is made out of plastic, so be careful with it. They do break off easily. So take that. I take it completely out. Set it aside, and then we're going to fill it up with the proper coolant, BMW recommended coolant. So you want to fill it all the way up, completely full, until the coolant actually comes out of the vent hole here. And then once all the air bubbles come out, then you know all the air out of the system is done. The next step would be to put your screw back in the vent hole, the vent cover here, and screw it back down. A little tip for you is to, when you screw it down, just screw it down till it touches, and then just a little tiny pressure. That's all you need. Don't need a lot of pressure, because it breaks off really easy. Okay, the next step I'm going to show you is we need to remove some of the coolant, because this is an expansion bottle. So if you fill it up, leave it full like this, and you put the cap on, it would build up too much pressure, and it would actually break the bottle or break the radiator or pop another hose or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a turkey baster, or I have a tool that will suck some of the coolant back out until this float here is level with the neck like this. This is what it'll look like. So when you get it sucked down to that level, you'll know it's at the proper level. And if the coolant's low, it goes pretty deep in there. So we're gonna suck it up to the proper level. So now that I got it the coolant removed to the proper level, I'm going to do one last step. I probably won't show you guys this, but I'm going to repressure test it and double check for leaks. So after rechecking for leaks and it does not, it's dry, and reinstalling the air boot, it's time to test drive. Clear codes, if it has any codes. I always like to check and clear them, and then go test drive it, and then I'll recheck the coolant level one more time after the test drive, and if everything goes well, I'll ship it back to the customer. This is Brian Essick from howtoautomotive.com. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video. If I can be any help in the future, please leave a comment below, and if you like what you hear, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.